Hi, this is Tim, and welcome to UK Home Gym, your home for UK specific independent home gym tips and advice. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about speakers and should you have them in your home gym. Why am I speaking about this subject? Well, because very recently I did a video about whether you should have mirrors in your home gym. And my conclusion was, spoiler alert, that I don't think that you really need mirrors in your home gym. And I also mentioned in that video that I don't think that you need speakers. It's part of my philosophy that you don't really want to try and turn your home gym into a commercial gym. And then I was thinking about this a little bit more, and it sort of occurred to me that maybe I should go into that in a little bit more detail in a separate video. So that's what I'm here to do. So there are for me, there are two reasons why I think that you don't really need speakers in your home gym. One of them is very UK specific, and the other one is a bit more general. Okay, so I'll begin with the very UK specific one, and that is very much to do with the way that UK houses are built. If you've got your home gym like me in your garage, or maybe you have it in like a hut in the garden or something like that, some sort of a shed or something like that in the garden, you're probably going to be, unless you live in a very big estate or something like that, you're probably going to be very near other people. A typical British garage is not very well insulated, and it's not very well soundproofed, or it's not soundproofed at all. Neither is like a typical sort of shed, unless you put soundproofing material in there. So that is going to immediately throw up, the problem of, can you have blaring speakers in there? Will it not annoy your neighbours and sort of get on everybody's nerves in the neighbourhood if you've got, blaring music going on there? You may think, well, that's not too much of a problem because I don't plan to be very antisocial and work out at certain times of the day where it would really annoy people, like late at night or early in the morning or something like that. But then I think it sort of negates the point of having a home gym. I quite like the fact that I can use my home gym anytime. Usually, in my case, I tend not to use it very late at night. I tend not to use it very early in the morning. But there are times where, I'm sure my neighbours are asleep or whatever, they're enjoying a quiet evening. And the last thing they want to hear is me sort of blaring out heavy metal music or whatever, like a bit like a teenager or something like that, while I'm grunting and smashing weights around and stuff like that. So moving on to the second reason, this reason sort of applies, I would say, to almost every home gym owner. And that is, it's about removing friction. Now, what am I talking about with removing friction? So this is a little aside, but I think that this story will sort of illustrate a little bit of, what I'm trying to talk about with this. As well as being quite into lifting weights, I'm also quite into running. And in fact, I got into running a long time before I got into lifting weights. And I used to be like a lot of people that you'll see running. I couldn't bear the idea of running without listening to music or listening to a podcast or listening to an audiobook or something like that. I thought that it would be incredibly boring, particularly if you're going on longer distances. So, I've done a couple of marathons, and marathon training, sometimes you're out for 2-3 hours, and it's just you with your thoughts. And some people just cannot bear that idea. But as I began to do more and more running, I one day decided that I was going to cut the music out and cut the audio out and just leave the audio stuff at home, leave the earphones, headphones, whatever at home. One, it's for safety reasons because you don't want cars coming up behind you that you can't hear, but the other reason is because I would often find myself spending a long time before I would go on a run, sort of curating some sort of playlist for myself, because I didn't want to listen to the same songs I'd listened to before, or spending time looking for like a podcast or whatever. And I think that at some point you realize this is stopping me from actually going out and running. I'm spending so much time here, messing around with all of my playlists and stuff like that, that I'm not actually, I could already be out there basically. And I think that you should, or it would suit you, it would behoove you to take that same sort of attitude with lifting. You know, oh, I really want to go and lift, but I need to find something to listen to first. So, you spend a lot of time on YouTube or, on Audible or whatever, looking for the exact thing that you want to look for, or you want to find a Spotify playlist or whatever. And that's time that you could already be in the gym lifting. And I think that it's, it's like a muscle. You train this, you train the ability to sort of just go in there and lift without having to have something in your ears the whole time, without having to have some kind of audio going on there, some kind of distraction. So if you can do that, and I'm not saying that you should do that all the time. You should never listen to anything, but I think that the skill of being able to do it is good. It's very positive. Okay, let's look at some of the alternatives. If you say, no, look, I understand what you're saying, but it's not for me. I really must listen to something. I can't face the idea of working out without it. Fine, but there are very simple and very obvious alternatives, and those are get yourself some headphones, some earphones, whatever. I'm going to give you a couple of suggestions about earphones and headphones and stuff in the gym. Now, this is what I quite like these earphones. They're quite nice Bluetooth earphones. They're great. The one problem with using these headphones, is that when you're doing certain exercises, they tend to slip off, and you sort of have to move them around and be a bit creative with them. I think I prefer using these sort of in-ear, sort of earbud things when I do listen to things, to listen to music or whatever in my home gym, because I find them a lot easier to use, and they tend not to fall out most of the time. The one time when they do get in my way is when I'm doing like neck training and I've got like a neck harness on, and that sort of comes over the ears and stuff like that. Sometimes it sort of rubs against them. Sometimes it pushes them out and stuff like that. So for neck harness related work, I just put them away. So in conclusion, I think it's really great to be able to have the ability to not listen to anything in the gym, and to sort of train yourself to do that. I think that if you could go the whole hog and never listen to music and never listen to any audio in your home gym, that would be wonderful. But I am also realistic, and I do think that sometimes it can be lonely out there, and you may want that sort of distraction. So if you do, just don't do it with the speakers. You don't need to do it with the speakers. Sure, if you do live in some sort of house where you're quite a long way away from your neighbours and you're not going to bother them, sure, have a speaker on there. If you think that you can keep it to a reasonable volume, maybe, then fine, by all means do that. But I think that generally earphones, headphones, whatever, are a much better option, and that if you can train yourself to just completely leave them alone, completely, sometimes at least, then you'll be doing yourself a favor. Anyway, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments or anything that you'd like me to discuss in another video, please leave that all down below. Please remember to like and share and subscribe and all of that lovely stuff. Of course, please do check out our homepage, our website, that is ukhomegym.com. And I'll see you next time on UK Home Gym.